Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win. Caught. It's good. LSU does it.
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came and stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker hard.
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds, just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling you.
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show.
And you
Come have a
started
good time.
tearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Nice start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. All right, welcome into a Thursday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here from our Click Here Digital Studios on this Thursday morning. We appreciate you starting your day here with us. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button as we are getting set to go here on opening day of the NFL Draft, and we will have a mock draft for you here coming up on the show about 7:15, 7:20-ish. Boys, you boys ready?
Do your homework.
How we doing? How we looking over there?
I mean, if we're not ready for this test, you just have it. This is the end of the semester.
Well, you got to have your.
We're talking about it.
I gotta
no
get my-
trades.
All right.
No trades.
I got to get my
trades. We're
pool
playing-
of players together
We're
first.
playing. We're playing it we're just 1 to 32.
1 to 32.
As it's lined
then
up
we-
right now.
We can't. Then you can't do the Saints pick.
2 minutes a pick.
If
Dude. Don't
there's,
be- I
2
don't
minutes
wanna-
a pick?
No wasting time.
if there's no trades, we can't do the Saints justice. Mickey Loomis said, everything you read, that's all there is. Like, Saints are being aggressive.
Nick will end up with one.
One pick.
Yeah, right. It'd be like the old Ricky Williams.
I only need one.
All right, before we get there, remember, daily, we're brought to you by R&B Builders, Red Bourgeois and the crew, rmb-builders.com. If you're looking for a custom design home, it's springtime. If you're looking to have some work done around the house and get ready for spring and summer, get in touch with Red Bourgeois and RMB Builders. They're on Instagram at RMB Builders and rmb-builders.com. Daily, our phone line is brought to you by our friends over at Southern Regional Medical Center. Real Doctors, Real Solutions with Charlie Harvey and Jason Ramazan. Remember Jason Ramazan, Mr. Fun's Travel, already putting the trip together for LSU USC in Vegas coming up that first weekend in September. Air travel, hotel accommodations, tickets to the game, travel to and from the stadium, and then travel back home to Baton Rouge on a chartered flight. So if you want to get involved in that, online at MrFundsTravel.com. Daily, our studios are here at Click Here Digital, helping you with all of your digital marketing plans. Got over 600 five-star reviews online, over 500 of those coming from the automotive space. We can help you sell more cars if you're an auto dealer. Help find out more online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com. Before we get to the NFL draft tonight, which is going to dominate the sports news, last night the Pellies nearly beat by 30 on the road as they were bludgeoned by OKC last night, 124-92. OKC takes a 2-0 lead here as the series shifts back to New Orleans, or comes to New Orleans for the first time, as they will tip it off Saturday at 2:30 and then Monday night at 8:30 over at the Blender. Last night, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was and looked like the MVP. He had 33 points to lead the Thunder past the Pels, and just not C.J. McCollum is way beyond the problems for the Pelicans, but McCollum and Ingram just on the biggest stage have not been the superstar players that they've needed, and obviously they missed Zion. But Valanciunas was fantastic last night.
He scored the first 9 points.
Clearly
that
reverse layup he hit on the opening bucket was
nimble for the big man. But I was watching the game. I was like, this is the game plan. And you saw it work early in game one, and then the way that they were officiating, he got called for like a hook down low, and they're like, they're not going to let him bully Chet Holmgren around, because I don't think they wanted to put that poor man in hell for 48 minutes or 48 minutes. And then you saw them go back to the same game plan, because it is a mismatch on the offensive end. He's just so much bigger weight-wise than Chet Holmgren is, where he can just put him in the paint and go to work.
Yeah.
And then in the new NBA, that's not a sustainable model to be able to run for 4 quarters, because that's just not what people do anymore. Because you saw Chet Holmgren, the way that Oklahoma City countered was, I'll just step out and take threes.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Pelicans, it was clear that, I don't know if it was the game one loss being that close, but now that is highlighted now from what you saw last night, because I think you had a little, like, lights were a little bright, the game one for the Thunder, the youngest team in the NBA, and you saw that in game one, and then game two they were settled in, and it just became, we're the number 1 seed. Like, let's stop playing with our food. It was never really close last night. There was not even
it never was.
You couldn't even like convince yourself that. I think it got within, what was it, at 13 at half, and that might have been the closest it got for the Pelicans.
Lou Dort is just a bully to Brandon Ingram.
He's built to play defense.
Ingram he looks like a kid on the playground that's like trying to duck and run. You know what I mean? He doesn't want the ball. He doesn't want the stage. And I mean, they've really kind of figured out the formula on defending him. And Dort's just he's built for it, but he's physically
body blows. He took one to the spleen last night. But if you're Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans, would you not look at Lou Dort and say you have 6 inches on the guy, like rise up and shoot over him.
Agree.
Like go full Kevin Durant, where you catch it on the elbow and just
that is his game.
And he won't do it. Like, it's not. I guess that it just doesn't seem like they have any flow offensively. When I guess your game plan to get it to Valanciunas early, I liked, but then you have to be able to build off of that, because, like I said, you can't jog down the court, set up your offense, dump it down low, and expect the Thunder not to make any adjustments. But I just don't know where you get your offense from. Like, you have a Trey Murphy who's been improved in more than just a 3-point shooter. Herb Jones, obviously great defensively, but they kept switching him last night off of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's your best defender, and that's their best player. Like, lock them up when they're both on the court. I'm checking in if I see them.
I agree.
Like, Kawhi
that's cornerback 1 on wide receiver 1.
Right. Like, when Kawhi saw LeBron, like, they'd both get off the bench at the same time. Like, the famous LeBron at the free throw line, and he sees Kawhi check in, and he's like, okay, back to having to play real basketball, because he's going to try to lock me up. And that's why, like, on paper, if you put Zion into this mix, like, it would have been that Dallas Mavericks Golden State 1-8 matchup, where it's like you have a chance to do like the We Believe Warriors, where you had a chance to kind of hang around and at least take it 6 or 7. But after last night, you can always overreact to one game, but it just felt like you better catch one at the Blender, because I don't think you're going to win both.
No,
So-
it was that was a landslide last
Because
night.
it should be. There's a million ways that you could make it where it should have been 1-1, and you'd have been happier than most if you're able to split a home series or split the first two of a playoff series against the 1 seed, and then you're like, okay, now we're getting more momentum, and you can look and see the light at the end of the tunnel for Zion, who they interviewed him before the game last night. He said, I have to do all of the protocol and check all of the boxes before I can play, which seems like you can put it on his headstone.
Yeah.
Like, that's the quote.
Right. We are going to be joined by Aaliyah Finnegan in studio this morning. The national champ will be here celebrating LSU's first gymnastics national championship, as her and her teammates yesterday were on campus for the parade. We'll talk to her about Coach Clark and what this team accomplished here and how exciting of a run it was. Chris Blair and the Tigers back in town. LSU baseball, game 1 of the LSU-Auburn series tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series.
In the box.
Coming up at Alec Box Stadium. We will talk to Blair an hour from now, as Chris will be back, as LSU baseball has been on the road the last couple of weeks. So we will talk some LSU baseball coming up in hour 2. But obviously today is going to be headlined by the NFL draft. Today is opening round. This has now become such a spectacle, man. I mean, the draft it's been crazy to see how the draft and really everything the NFL has been turned into an event, whether it's the combine, whether it is pro days, whether it's the draft, right? I mean, the draft has become now like a traveling circus. I mean, really, they're taking this city to city like the Super Bowl and turning it into an event. As tonight, the draft will be hosted by the city of Detroit, and round 1 will open up tonight at 7 o'clock. And it will be a live, made-for-television
Spectacle.
event with all types of events surrounding the NFL draft. So it's been wild to kind of see the evolution of the draft. I mean, I remember when it was kind of the saying was, is he going to be a day one guy, right? And a day one guy just meant whether you were going to be a first, second, or third rounder, because that was how the draft was run. I mean, it was run on a Saturday and a Sunday, where drafts, rounds 1, 2, and 3, it would start at 10 in the morning.
Yes.
And it would run, kind of go through like 3 o'clock. It would always kind of coincide with like a spring football game. So you would leave, leave the draft after a couple of, monumental key picks had been made. Then you would come back and see, the flurry on the ticker and just kind of catch up on where all the players had gone. And then the next day, right, it was rounds 4 through 7, where you would just kind of peek in and out of it, whether it was LSU baseball game or you were cutting the grass. I mean, it was not this.
It was daytime programming.
Right. I mean, it was kind of background noise, really, more than anything. Now, I mean, you've got the first round on a Thursday night in prime time that runs on ESPN, ABC, all of ESPN's web and e-platforms. And then you run and stretch this thing out over 4 days of really what is a ratings bonanza, I'm sure, for the NFL. It's just it's kind of cool.
Oh,
kind of wild.
You're right.
Kind of, what's this all about? You know what I mean? Kind of confusing, but we're here, right?
It's mayhem, but that whoever's idea it was to be like, why aren't we using this as an absolute platform for the NFL? Because you've seen, like, Major League Baseball still hasn't figured this out, where I have no idea when their draft is. You can barely find it on television.
Right.
And there's people that are interested, like people that love Major League Baseball, I'm sure want to watch the draft, but it becomes a ticker event where you see, oh, he got taken, one. Like, it was hard to find Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens get drafted.
Yeah.
Like, they do it when they were, like, right before Omaha.
Or in Omaha.
Right, and this is when you're supposed to be highlighting the sport, but the way that college baseball and baseball in general has shifted is that they're taking more college kids, so it's good for the guys, but they don't get that moment of walking across the stage. But like you said, I remember it being at 10 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, and you're just like, oh, I would like, I don't know, 2007 when Jamarcus got drafted. I was a freshman in high school. I was like, woke up early on a Saturday, it felt like, to put it on and make sure I got to see Jamarcus get drafted.
Yeah.
And I made an appointment television for myself.
Right.
But now, like, could you imagine if it was Thursday night, 7 p.m., like all of the fanfare that goes into it, like turning it into an absolute spectacle just shows what, like, grovelers we are. Like, just give the people, like, here, feed them more, and we'll eat at the buffet all day long. And my question to you is, Goodell has the meat shield for the owners, has now taken that strategy and used it for the draft for whenever he goes out there to announce that the draft is beginning. Who do you think in Detroit that he brings out there with him to shield from the booze?
I think Eminem, huh? I mean, him and Eminem have been on the promotions, or Barry Sanders.
Eminem, Barry, or you just go the General Dan Campbell. Got to go, man.
I think he's busy.
But you just want to
I think, man, there's no way man would show that to his fan base on day one of the draft.
He's probably in the war
because that would go against all of who Man Campbell is.
Football.
I mean, it's work day, boys.
Yeah, I'd probably say
it's lunch pail.
It's got to be Barry Sanders there.
Barry Sanders.
You got to go Barry.
It could be a Motown figure,
but it's got to be Barry.
I mean, I can't imagine that
Calvin
that the generation.
This generation does not know who
Xers
Motown
know
is,
like who
Coach.
Smokey Robinson is.
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I mean, I would think like people my age are like
Happy
the last,
Chinooka.
Happy Chinooka.
What if you open it up with that?
It's got to be Eminem.
Yeah, well, Eminem or Barry Sanders.
I would say I know Eminem was in the commercial, but he's such a private person. Like, he wouldn't open
The
himself
NFL
up.
has kind of brought him out, though. Like,
He
this
did.
Detroit Lion run, I feel like I've seen more of Eminem over the last year than I have over the last 5 because of the last Lions. I mean, because of last year's Lions run.
Mike and Emily Domingue, Megatron.
Yeah, it's a Calvin. Yeah,
Maybe.
Calvin's a chill guy. He'd probably high right
but
now.
I know that Calvin has a lot of internal beef with the Lions because they wouldn't pay him. Whenever he retired, he was due like like guaranteed money that was on his contract.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
It was $1 million bucks.
Yeah, right.
And they held it. And so, like, I don't know if he would do a make good for Detroit. I think he would hang on, but Barry would definitely go out there. So 50-50, Barry or Eminem, I could see it. Yeah, 50-50, crystal ball. But because of Eminem's standing and what he like has opportunities to do, like public appearances. I know he did the commercial, but he's usually like very reserved, and like keeps himself away from all that kind of stuff. So it would be a big pull.
It would.
And put him on an open mic and see what happens. That man has never shied away from causing a little bit of a stir.
Let's get the draft started.
How old were you when they brought Eminem on the college football broadcast? I forget what game it was.
God,
it was
incredible.
Michigan,
and
Ohio
he
State.
was like, he was blitzed.
Yeah, he was out of his mind.
He was like,
I mean, Herb Street's even like,
who was the other? Mussenberger was
yeah,
another guy.
Mussenberger.
He was like,
who's perfect for that?
we got Eminem in the studio.
He was doing a
Marshall Mathers is with us in the. I mean,
Marshall.
they're like, and he's doing like kind of the eye, like
he's doing he's doing a bit because he was coming out with the Slim Shady LP too, so he was in like Slim Shady character, and he didn't tell anybody that he was going to do it, and so Kirk was over there like, what? He's like, I'm messing with all of y'all.
What's going on?
And so that's like, I don't know if you can trust the man,
right?
Which is why I love him.
But I mean, for the NFL's sake, they need. I mean, even on one of the promotion. Roger Goodell's like, can you get me street cred?
Yeah.
And like Eminem's like, no.
No.
Yeah, right.
So it might be Eminem.
So I think it is.
Welcome to the D. And he's like, we don't say that.
Right.
Wait, what?
All right, so we're going to have a mock draft here. Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by Hughes Mechanical Contractors. Our friends over at Hughes Mechanical Contractors helping you out with your HVAC services. From here to the North Shore, get in touch with them online at hughesmechanical.net. They're a trusted Daikin dealer. And our show is... obviously, our plumbing partners, Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Remember, Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works can help you out. All right, what are we going to do here? How are we going to finish? How are we going to figure out this this first pick? Christian just walked in. Perfect time.
Perfect timing.
Christian, get a number between 1 and 10. Whoever picks closest to the number here is going to have the first pick. You got your number? All right, Stewie, what you got?
7.
What you got?
1.
3. 8.
Oh, nice.
Wow,
All
first
right,
pick.
Stuart,
All right, I got the
price
second
is
pick.
right.
You got the first. You got the
Third pick.
third pick. All right, Stewie, you're on the clock here. You're the Chicago Bears. You got the number 1 pick. Remember, no trades here. No trades. We're just going down the mock order here of 1 to 32. Who's it going to be? First pick in the draft. Who you got and why?
The first pick, I'm the Bears, right?
You are the Chicago Bears,
Bears.
Stewie.
I will select Caleb Williams,
Okay.
quarterback, USC.
Perfect.
The reason I'm picking Caleb Williams is because I think he's a generational talent. I think there are some things that he needs to learn in the NFL to make him a better player and an overall leader, but I think once he figures it out, he'll be on that Mahomes-esque run of just being a freak. Like, he does things on the field that you can't teach or coach.
I agree.
Caleb
I love the Chicago fit here. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a great fit. They've got weapons around him. DJ Moore. You've got Keenan Allen. You've got a pretty good offensive line. They've got the 9th pick as well, who a lot of people pointed him getting a wide receiver there. I think the future is bright for Chicago and Caleb Williams. I've got the 2nd pick here with the Washington Commanders. If I'm the Commanders, I'm sprinting this pick up to the to the commissioner. I'm taking Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels is arguably the best quarterback in this draft. I know everybody feels like Caleb Williams is far and away the best quarterback, and physically he probably is. But when you turn on the film and you watch Jaden Daniels just play the game comes very easy to Jaden Daniels, and it really has for a while. If you look at his freshman film at Arizona State, he was a standout. Now, since then, he's had some adversity, but he got the reins back his senior year and was the best player in college football by far. By far. Like last season, saved the Marvin Harrisons, Caleb Williams. The only other player that is maybe has an argument would be Malik Neighbors. But Jaden Daniels was by far the best college football player last season in the sport. He was the best quarterback. If I'm the Washington Commanders, you've got new ownership, you've got new coaches. Cliff Kingsbury, sneakily, not a lot of people talking about, has been around a lot of good quarterbacks, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Caleb Williams, or whoever this pick is going to be. And I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels. Give me Daniels here with the Commanders going 2nd overall. Lloyd, you're on the clock.
Good pick. With the 3rd pick, and I believe this is how the NFL has gone now, where you just if you're the top 5, top 6 of the NFL, you were bloodthirsty for a quarterback, the New England Patriots.
Yep.
Obviously looking for a new era. I believe the Mac Jones era has run its course. I think that you want to start it over, and I feel bad for this man because it's going to be a bumpy road for Drake May, North Carolina.
Terrible situation here.
Terrible.
I mean, like, God forbid that Jaden Daniels does not go 2nd and ends up in New England. I mean, there is definitely examples where you can point at it matters where you go.
Mac Jones.
I mean, Jamarcus Russell.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Terrace Marshall.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it matters those guys can play. It matters where you go, and whoever goes to New England, it feels like a sinking ship. It feels like it's heading in the wrong direction, and maybe that is unfair to Gerard Mayo, the new head coach, and the new regime with New England, but everything around it, and it's not even really Mayo, it's more like Kraft, which is kind of wild.
Right, because I was going to say, like, it's you get almost a breath of fresh air. Like we always say, you don't want to be the guy that follows the guy. But Kraft did such a good job, I guess, quote unquote, of like kind of smearing the Belichick name.
Right.
And he's going to be
Belichick's going to be a big winner on this.
Oh, he's going to be awesome.
Oh, he's already winning.
Yeah, and he's going to be covering the draft, and I'm sure they said that they have
working with McAfee today.
Mac Jones is in Jacksonville now.
That's what I'm saying. That Mac Jones era is over. And so it would be between, like, if you still had any relationship with Tom Brady, it might have maybe he kowtows for a Michigan man, but I think
I mean Brady hates Michigan. I mean, people don't realize that. I mean, like Brady, I mean, like he doesn't have a lot of love for Michigan. He feels like Michigan kind of treated him wrong while he was there.
Cool. He's a big spike guy,
right? I mean, and they did. I mean, Drew Henson was a bum.
Get me in the game.
Who you got, Stewie?
With the fourth pick, I will take.
Now, are you doing what you think's going to happen, or what you would do?
This is what I would do.
Okay.
This is Arizona Cardinals. I'd go Marvin Harrison Jr. You got to give Kyler Murray some help. You have to. if you want to keep him as your quarterback, you obviously haven't came off of him and you signed him to a bigger contract, so you're tied to him. So you got to give him weapons.
This is a man that's been beating the drum for Malik Neighbors all
Look,
year.
I love
And he turns in the car and he goes,
I gotta go with what I think is right. Like, and I think this situation with Kyler, I think Marvin Harrison fits Kyler's type of play and scheme better. I just don't. I love Malik.
I'll remember this.
I'm not saying he's not wide receiver
tape.
one.
Say the
1A
tape.
and 1B.
All right, I'm on the clock here. Jim Harbaugh. I've got Harbaugh's pick in the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, again, Lloyd asked the question, and I think it's a good question. What would I do? I would take Malik Neighbors here and give my quarterback, who I've invested in, a weapon. I see the other argument of, look, you've made the investment in the quarterback. Get him some protection. Harbaugh obviously wants to run the football. He loves offensive linemen. He did the whole, love of and respect of the offensive lineman and the presser. I mean, you know how he feels about running the football. Hell, we don't even know how good J.J. McCarthy really is. Because of the way he kind of hit him. For really the sake of the argument, if I'm on the other side, I don't think McCarthy can play. I don't think that he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. The other side that believes he is says, how do you know? Harbaugh just kind of hit him out for a couple of years. And it's because he wants to run the football. It's because he wants to own the line of scrimmage. It's because he loves offensive linemen. I've got him taking the 6'9" Joe Alt here from Penn State. From Notre Dame. I think that Alt is, he's a mammoth of a dude, a guy that can help you control the line of scrimmage. Is a big protector for Justin Herbert, and I think that is what Harbaugh is going to do. So give me Joe Alt with the unsexy 5th pick to the Los Angeles Chargers, offensive lineman out of Notre Dame.
And now, if this falls into my lap, if I'm the New York Giants, who is on the clock,
yes,
there's
stealing.
There's an argument to be made. Sneaky, one of the best sounds in sports.
Yeah.
The draft noise.
Probably the best.
It is
definitely
a great one.
like if you made it your alarm, you would pop up.
NBA on NBC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is a great one.
CBS, rest in peace.
Yeah,
CBS opener is a great one. The tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The tournament.
Oh yeah. They're just in it.
But
the
yes.
old Monday Night Football with what is it?
Mm-hmm. Al Michaels, Dan Deerdorf, and Frank Gifford.
Ready for some football?
Yeah, Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah. But with all that said, obviously Daniel Jones is your quarterback. You have Tommy Cutlets right behind him.
Oh yeah.
There is a world with you would do a hard factory reset if you're the Giants, but I feel like Daniel Jones and J.J. McCarthy are the same player, so why would you do that? Let's run it back with Daniel Jones and get him a weapon. I'm going Malik Neighbors with my pick as the New York Giants.
Christian, make sure will you chart track the picks here?
Oh, I got him. I'm tracking him in the dot.
Okay,
so
all
good.
All right. Sweet.
All
right, so Stewie, you're on the clock.
Ooh, this is
the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. Since Joe Alt is off the board.
Joe Alt's off the board.
And they already have a quarterback.
Got a QB.
You got a couple weapons at receiver. I'm going to go J.C. Latham.
Okay.
Offensive lineman, Alabama.
Makes sense. Good pick. He took Harrison at 4.
Who'd you take, Stuart?
I took J.C. Latham.
Okay.
All right, so I'm on the clock here?
You're on the clock.
All right, the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons have they got a ton of offensive skill. They just signed the quarterback in the offseason, Kirk Cousins, to the incredible contract. Obviously, they need defensive help. They need defensive pressure. I'm going with what has been the best graded pass rushing defensive end. I think you can make an argument that Latu from UCLA may be the best defensive end. I think the best graded defensive end is Dallas Turner. I'm going to take Turner, the outside linebacker from Bama.
Too much Bama in it.
Blitz, Bama, blitz.
Hey, dirty boy, just a good football player.
That's so funny. That's just Alabama football.
They hated him in the first half. I was there. I was at Bryant Denny that night with all of you gumps when y'all wanted to crucify Dallas Turner in the first half because Jaden Daniels was shaking him out of his cleats when he put the crown of his helmet into Jaden Daniels' jaw in the second half and had him removed from the game. Everybody clap. Hey, he's just a football player, boy. I tell you what, old Dallas Turner got too much Bama in it.
That's just Bama, boy.
I tell you what, roll tide, roll, baby. Love old Dallas Turner. That's why I named my oldest Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you prick.
Debbie
You
Does
hated
Dallas.
the guy. You hated the guy an hour ago.
Brian Kelly soft. You don't know nothing about SEC ball.
That's right. That's right.
And
I was telling him in the first half, he can play for us. If y'all want to give him back, we'll take him.
We'll take him. Transfer portal at halftime.
In the second half, when everybody wanted to, all the LSU fans were hoping that, that he would have a police escort out of the game. Alabama thought that they were going to build a statue after him. Give me Dallas Turner here, 8th pick of the draft for the Atlanta Falcons coming off the board. Lloyd, you're on the pick. Chicago Bears, number 9.
Chicago Bears, number 9. I'm going to give Caleb Williams no excuses here. Now, I am split between Romeo Odunze from Washington or sneaky link Brock Bowers from Georgia. Help them with a little bit of the offensive line help.
They have a tight end already.
They do, but I'm thinking of maybe do a little bit of an offensive line help where he can chip, give Caleb Williams some more time a little bit because he likes to create, have somebody that'll be there, a little security blanket. With all that said,
yeah, don't overthink it, buddy.
Yeah. Romeo,
do it. Yes, hell yes. Hell yeah.
Dude, being in a war room would be. I mean, it has to be one of the all-time stressors.
Oh man,
it's like day trading in the.
But what 90s. A great day! Like, how does the GM feel like right now?
Oh,
like right now, dude. Like, I ain't slept all night,
boys.
Just like let Odunze be there at 9.
Oh, let
Odunze be there at 9, boys.
It's like the Justin Jefferson when they're in the Philadelphia Eagles have to pick before the Vikings.
Jalen Rager.
Yeah,
and they're like
Sean Payton.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes. We got him.
That's the opposite.
We got him.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna take the guy. But Romeo Odunze to the Chicago Bears. We have Caleb Williams, Romeo Odunze, and now there's nothing but expectations in Chicago year 1.
How good are the Bears? Are the Bears the best number 1 overall picking team? Like I can't remember somebody who's picked number 1 who you're like, heads up.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bears, they have a defense already. I mean, when they signed Montez Sweat last season, I mean, it got kind of real on that side of the ball. Then you bring in Keenan Allen. You've already got DJ Moore. You add Rome Odunze. I know Caleb Williams is going to have some growing pains as a young quarterback. I'm not saying that they're going to win a Super Bowl this season, but I mean, they become like overnight. Today, they're not contending. Tomorrow, they are. Chicago's sitting in a great spot. Did you see that? Did you see the video they put out of what could be the new stadium?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
The renderings.
Saw it from, obviously, Barstool Big Cat, huge Chicago guy.
Sure.
He goes, half of my brain loves this. Half of my brain goes, where are we going to park?
Yeah, there's like one small parking lot.
Like, this isn't going to work, but I love the way that it looks.
Well, it's a very pedestrian part of town. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Just walk around?
Probably so. Stu, you're on the clock.
But for your answer, I would say the Colts, whenever they got Andrew Luck, was probably the team that was most set up to get a quarterback and we could turn this thing around right now. They went 11-5.
Yeah. It's like how the Lakers won like a championship and they got Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
All right.
Or James Worthy.
Oh,
New York Jets. Stu, you're on the clock.
With the 10th pick in the NFL draft, that's select Brock Bowers.
Oh, tight end. Great pick.
Tight end.
It's a great
Georgia
selection. I'd imagine that Aaron Rodgers is pushing for that today.
I mean, you got to go.
He needs offensive linemen, though.
Yeah, but in this case, they need another playmaker. They just got Mike Williams from the Chargers. You got Garrett Wilson already. So now you just add a tight end, which Aaron Rodgers loves to throw to the tight end. So you add a tight end with stretch the field ability. Oh, perfect for the offense.
If you saw Bowers just in the public eye, you would not believe that he would be a top 10 pick in the NFL.
You wouldn't think he runs a 4.4.
Put on the film though.
Yeah, that's right.
He might be the best player in the draft.
Right. That's why I was split.
Might be the best player in the draft. Great pick, Stewie. With the 11th pick, I am on the clock with the Minnesota Vikings. Wow. I love having this selection.
Got to go QB, huh?
I'm definitely thinking QB and not the one that everybody's talking about here. Obviously, I think everybody would be looking at J.J. McCarthy to come off the board. McCarthy's probably going to be gone by 11. I'd imagine that somebody's going to have to trade up to get him. But if the Vikings are standing pat here and the board looks as if it does now, I would take Michael Penix Jr. Penix would be my selection here. Now look, I mean, I believe more in Penix than I do in McCarthy. I believe that Penix is got some questions with the injuries, and I think they're valid. A couple of knee injuries and a shoulder injury going into the NFL. I mean, that's a little scary. But when you turn on the film, and I had the chance of watching him play in the Sugar Bowl against Texas, I mean, I left there so impressed of just his ability to run the game. I mean, he made all the throws. He looked great in executing, but his command of the team, of the game, his ability to run the offense, I thought was first round worthy. If him and McCarthy are side by side and Minnesota had this pick at 11, if I was running the draft room, I would take Penix here. Give me Michael Penix at 11 to Minnesota.
And
Broncos. What you going to do, Sean Payton?
That leaves me with...
What you going to do, Sean Payton, with a couple of scrubs here?
I would have taken Penix had he fallen to me. I will not fall for the cheese, as Sean Payton loves to say. Don't eat the cheese. I'm not going to take J.J. McCarthy. So I will go down the board, look for a safe pick, and with that said, I will take Fashanu from Penn State.
Yeah, good luck. I got you.
The
big guy from Penn State.
Did you know he was Caleb Williams' left tackle in high school?
No.
Yes.
Wow. Good find there, Stewie.
Keep an eye on the Bears at 9 with Oli.
Yeah, I went for all glitz and glamour, but I know the Broncos are probably going to be in a situation where if trades were allowed, they're probably going to be in this exact spot. If you had to play it straight up, they would look at the board and go, J.J. McCarthy, do I believe? Because they need a quarterback. But I don't know if I'm not going to tie myself to that raft. If I'm picking, I'm going to do the smart thing, take an offensive lineman. Rome was not built in a day. So we're going to move along with this draft. And Sean Payton is very comfortable where he sits. He doesn't have to win right away. And so let's start building this thing in the trenches, boys. Take a left tackle. Whoever comes in next year, at least you got a stalwart left tackle from Penn State.
To recap here, the top 12 picks of the mock draft that we're rolling through at this moment. Chicago Bears, Stewie took Caleb Williams. The Commanders, I took Jaden Daniels. The New England Patriots, Lloyd took Drake May. At 4, the Arizona Cardinals, Stewie took Marvin Harrison Jr. The Los Angeles Chargers, at 5, I took Joe Alt, the offensive lineman from Notre Dame. New York Giants have the 6th pick. Lloyd took Malik Neighbors. At 7, Tennessee, and Stewie took J.C. Latham, the offensive lineman from Bama. Back-to-back Bama boys at Atlanta. Dallas Turner, I took Dallas with the Atlanta Falcons at 8. The Bears, Lloyd took Rome Odunze at 9. The Jets, Stewie took the tight end Brock Bowers with the Jets at 10. At Minnesota 11, I took Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback out of Washington. Big Penix energy for sure. And Denver, Lloyd with the latest pick just took Olu, the big guy out of Penn State.
Alamuya.
Stewie is on the clock with the Las Vegas Raiders. Stewie, who you got at 13?
Damn, this is tough because they don't. I mean,
these would be another possible trade scenario.
Right.
The Raiders are bloodthirsty for a quarterback,
and they don't have a quarterback, and y'all just left me with Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy.
Two people that
make that work.
Two players that
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
Or
let him fall to the Saints.
No thanks.
Oh, you get to draft for the Saints.
I already got my pick.
Who did I need to. Well, the Raiders have receiver. Damn. Devontae Adams.
Yes.
So, in this case.
30 seconds, Stewie.
I guess I'll go.
You're on the clock.
Bo Nix.
Oh, turn the card in.
Sweet, you're fired.
You're
there you
fired
go.
either way.
Stewie, Bo Nix at 13. Disgusting. 14th pick in the draft. Who dat, baby? New Orleans Saints. Who's the best offensive tackle on the board here? Whoever it is, I will take him. That would be the offensive tackle out of Oregon State, Talise Fuagwa.
Yeah.
That's
Hell yeah. We're back.
We're back.
Where's the Super Bowl?
New Orleans.
Nah. It is the New Orleans this year. Hell yeah. Home and home, baby.
This is the guy that's going to get you there.
Give me Talise Fuagwa. Offensive tackle, Oregon State. 15, Indianapolis Colts. Stewie, you're on the board.
Lloyd is on the clock.
Lloyd, you're on the clock. Excuse me.
Indianapolis Colts. I believe that they have a quarterback, I'm still searching for some offensive line help and also some offensive weapons. And this has been a very defensive-heavy draft, but that's no fun. I will take, staring me right in the face, Brian Thomas Jr.
Ooh.
Moving him up the board. Take a shot. You got to build a young, exciting offense.
Stewie.
You see Anthony Richardson's able to stretch the field, and now you get a vertical playmaker along with Michael Pittman, and you have kind of a dual threat on the outside, and you're able to let's keep supporting. You got to give a rookie quarterback essentially weapons to play with, and I think Brian Thomas fits that bill. Put him inside on a fast track.
I love that. Climate controlled.
Yes. So
quarterback, big arm.
Maybe a reach, depending on who you ask, but I believe in Brian Thomas' ability. 4.33, 40-inch vertical, just all freak show at the Indianapolis Colts.
There you go.
Make it fun.
There you go. BT off the board there. You're on the clock, Stewie. You are on the clock here for the Seattle Seahawks. New coach up at Seattle. Is this Mike McDonald?
Mike McDonald.
Is that right?
They re-signed Geno Smith, right?
They did.
Geno Smith is a big contract. You got DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett still on the roster. Got a good running back. Offensive line's pretty good. I'm going to go Quinyon Mitchell.
Ooh.
Cornerback, Toledo.
Best cornerback in the draft.
Best cornerback in the draft.
Never tempted by NIL to jump aboard into a big team.
Could have too.
Yeah, no.
Was he at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah,
that's where he made an absolute name for himself.
And then he went to the combine and ran 4.4 and jumped 41.
Yeah, and in front of nobody.
Boxes checked.
Yeah, like that Toledo. It's not quite the fanfare that you get at LSU for the pro day.
Good pick, Stewie. 17, I'm on the clock here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Stewie, this is somebody that I told you I loved going into the draft. Another guy that I had the chance to watch play in person and very impressive. Defensive tackle out of Texas, Byron Murphy. I think Murphy is a game wrecker, and Jacksonville's got a pretty stout defense. You add this guy in the middle as another piece to that defensive line. I think is a pretty solid pick. Give me Byron Murphy, defensive tackle out of Texas, as he'll bring some interior defensive pressure. Los Angeles Rams are on the clock. Lloyd, who you got?
Wait, you're the Bengals?
I'm sorry. No, you're the Bengals. You're on the clock.
Yes, and I
took the Jacksonville Jaguars pick, and I took the big fella, Byron Murphy. All
right, Byron Murphy is off. We have to get Joe Burrow. Obviously, he needs some help, needs some protection. There's two choices on the board. I'm not going to overthink it. What I see is what I know. You trust SEC offensive linemen. While Fatanu from Washington is on the board, I'm going to go Amarius Mims from Georgia. 6'7" with only 17% body fat. Absolute freak. Get Joe Burrow some protection. Help him stay upright. You have plenty of weapons on the outside. And while not sexy, the Bengals have already been sexy. Now it's time to let's get a little mean, get a little angry.
I agree.
Amarius Mims, Georgia offensive tackle.
I love it. Who you got, Stewie? You're on the clock here for the Los Angeles Rams, who are up.
First round pick in a long time for the Rams.
It is.
Huh?
Post Aaron Donald.
F them
Post
picks.
Aaron Donald, yeah. F them picks.
Byron Murphy off the board.
This is tough. Okay. Byron Murphy off the board. They don't really like picking. Damn, this sucks.
You're on the clock, Stewie.
I know. Yeah, it's good. Going to go.
Tick, 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 tick.
We go Latu.
That's a good pick.
USC.
I like it.
He's been all over.
UCLA, sorry.
This is a guy who was medically retired from football.
Yeah, no red flags.
point?
Medical came back clean, Stewart.
Yes, medical came back clean.
I mean,
We will take
he
it.
has played football for 2 years.
Yeah.
See, this is the stuff that just
And he
kind of
led the
baffles
country
me
in sacks
about
like 2 years in a row.
about like the medicals and football. I know that the NFL is a vicious game, but I mean the guy's been playing football for 2 years, and now his medicals become this like crazy center of attention. I mean, like just turn the film on him, and the guy can play. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock here at 20. Now that Latu is off the board, Stewie, good pick there. It kind of gets into the part of the draft here where some of the names may not be as sexy. Some offensive linemen. You've even got some centers. I will tell you a guy that's still on the board here that I would take a chance and draft would be Terrion Arnold. Was going to be my pick. Cornerback out of Alabama. Pittsburgh Steelers need a little defensive help after an offseason of offensive signings. I think the Steelers here are in the market for some cornerback help, and the best cornerback on the board after Quinyon Mitchell was selected out of Toledo, I think is Alabama's Terrion Arnold. I will take him with the 20th selection for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lloyd, you're on the clock for the Miami Dolphins.
This makes my pick very easy. Obviously, you saw the Miami Dolphins, if you watched Hard Knocks at all in the midseason, where they were just decimated on the defensive line by injuries. You want to fill up, they were signing people off the street to try to come play, and then they would get hurt. So, Miami Dolphins, he's falling right into my lap. I will take LSU killer Jared Verse, Florida State.
Verse still on the board, lurking.
I almost went Verse on the Latu pick, but I was like, I like Latu too much.
I love Latu. I'm with you.
I love him too
I'm
much.
with you.
I'll take
I'm
Jared
with
Verse.
you.
And
I would
Verse
take
is,
either one.
Verse is a freak to me. Like watching him against LSU, I mean, Will Campbell's probably still having nightmares about that first night. That was his worst game in an LSU uniform.
It was.
So it's like,
If you could do it against Will Campbell, who's going to be a top 10 pick next year.
Might be number one.
Yeah, I could go.
Have you ever seen that?
It's pulling hairs with Latu and
Yeah,
Verse.
Orlando Pace went one.
Was that the Rams?
I think he went to the Rams. Yeah, he went to the Rams. And then I want to say, did the Chiefs take a number one pick?
Jake Fisher.
Eric Fisher.
Eric Fisher.
Yeah. Was he the third overall pick? Did he go 1-1?
He went 1-1.
Oh, wow.
I think he went 1-1.
He had a solid career, but
did.
that
But
stigma followed him around.
the stigma of 1-1.
You better be Orlando Pace.
Right, exactly.
Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. Stuart.
Philadelphia. Who you got, Stewie?
Ooh, Philadelphia needs cornerback help.
You know who would be a hit in Philadelphia?
Who?
Well, it's up to you.
I appreciate that.
Good insight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Nate Wiggins. One-time LSU commit. If you remember.
Okay.
But Nate Wiggins,
Clemson?
Yes, Clemson. I think he's right up there in that same vein with Kool-Aid McKinstry, Quinyon Mitchell, and
Kool-Aid's still on the board.
Terrion Arnold. I'm just saying, like
top corners.
The top corners in the draft.
Sure.
I think he's up there with them. He plays with excellent effort, speed, got the size, got everything you want in a number one corner. So I'm gonna go with Nate Wiggins. Clemson.
Absolutely. Good pick here. All right, two we got. On the clock now at after Philadelphia, back to Minnesota. Minnesota needs a little bit of defensive help as well here. I'm going to grab Kool-Aid McKinstry. I believe that he is a first-round cornerback. He is still on the board. Minnesota needs defensive help. At 23, I am taking Kool-Aid. On the clock now at 24, the Dallas Cowboys and Lloyd.
All right, let me ask you a question here. Is J.J. McCarthy still on the board?
He is.
All right. This is Dak Prescott, put up or shut up. I believe he is in a contract year. Let's stoke the flames a little bit. Let's see if Dak, obviously, that's 50-50 with the Cowboys fan base. There's people that love him, people that hate him. I'm going to go full Jerry Jones and take a quarterback and put a star on the Michigan man, J.J. McCarthy.
Yes, indeed.
Which would be if he falls to 24.
Big Zen and Big D.
Yes. So now you have a quarterback controversy brewing with J.J. McCarthy. Give him a year to learn. And Dak Prescott either play his way to a contract. Now you have a backup. Or you say, we're not going to pay Dak that guaranteed money. Let's run this thing back on a rookie quarterback deal, and let's go get some players.
Green Bay Packers are on the clock, Stewie, at 25. Who you got?
I mean, They need another cornerback.
I know who else would look great in Green Bay.
They got good receivers. They got a good quarterback already. You got your franchise in Jordan Love. So I am going to go Cooper DeJean, cornerback.
I love that selection.
He's going to look
And
that uniform just looks right.
And a lot of people are saying that he shouldn't play cornerback. He should be a safety. I don't think so. I think he is a corner. I think he's a shutdown corner. So I'm going to go Cooper DeJean, Iowa.
Wow.
Yes, stand up.
Good
we got
pick
one,
there,
boys.
Stu.
The first one since Jason Sehorn.
Good pick. Yes. That's right.
He doesn't know.
Everybody knows.
He doesn't know.
Oh, Jason Sehorn.
All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. Buccaneers have look. They need some help on the edge. They need some defensive help. Outside linebacker, no Devin White with Tampa Bay now. So I'm going to go Chop Robinson, defensive end, who is out of Penn State. I think Robinson answers a lot of questions for Tampa Bay here in the first round. So at 26, I'm going Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Back on the clock is the Arizona Cardinals. Lloyd, who you got?
The Arizona Cardinals, their first pick in this draft was Marvin Harrison. Thank you, Stuart. And so now I'm going to, as the wide receiver room seems to take shape, Kyler Murray has some help. I'm starting to look down the board, and you can never go wrong. It may not be sexy, but you have Troy Fautanu staring me straight in the face.
Oof.
A little offensive tackle help. I know they probably need defensive help, but I'm going to stick with my pick. Offensive tackle, Troy Fautanu, take best available.
Love it. On the clock is
the
now
pocket.
the Buffalo Bills. Stewie, need a lot of help.
Changes.
A lot of changes
in Buffalo.
Some people have Brian Thomas sliding to 28 here to Buffalo. Lloyd already nabbed
Scooped
him
him
very early at 15 for the Indianapolis Colts, so he's off the board.
I am going Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver, Texas.
see if this-
Over Worthy?
Yes, I think Adonai Mitchell is the better prospect player,
Better football player.
better football
I
player.
agree.
Oh, but
I agree.
He does some things that you kind of like the
Speed
thing
in the
about
cold. Speed in the cold sometimes doesn't translate.
well, I
but
was
we-
just thinking that big arm.
yeah, but
and
I
the Worthy
mean-
go ball.
But Adonai
And
Mitchell
Mitchell
ran
can
4.35
yeah.
too. So
He can
I mean,
go
you talk
too.
about the speed. It's not really a.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
4.21 is
semantics.
that's just freaky fast, but he's fast enough.
Yeah.
And he runs great routes. He has some character issues, but I think that could be worked out. So I'm gonna go Adonai Mitchell.
Oh, you can't have character issues on a team built by 9/11. We
Oh,
got everybody. We need everybody on the same plane here.
Home team.
Can't have a bad actor.
Home team selection at 29, Detroit. Detroit, obviously, this is going to be a frantic pick. This is going to be a wild pick. Dan Campbell, Man Campbell, coming off of their first NFC championship run as he's got the city behind his back. I think they've got a lot of weapons on offense. Obviously, yesterday they signed Amon St. Brown to a long-term deal, giving him $77 million guaranteed over the next 5 years. So they're committed to their offensive talent. I think they need a little bit more help on that side with Aiden Hutchinson and Detroit. Stewie, give me Darius Robinson, defensive end, defensive tackle combo out of Missouri, played for Blake Baker and the Tigers. I think this is a selection for Man Campbell and the Detroit Lions at 29 that should get the locals going. Now on the clock at 30 is the Baltimore Ravens. Lloyd, who you got?
Couldn't have scripted it any better for, I think, this offense and what they need. As you saw them kind of turn the corner, but when it came nut cutting time, they needed one more weapon. I feel like that you can almost use as get me out of jail free card, and I believe that man is one Lad McConkey.
Ooh.
Where you get a mobile quarterback and somebody that always seems to be open, and when it comes to 3rd and 3, 3rd and 8, when you got to have it and got to get it down, Lad McConkey is your guy. I think supremely underrated once we saw like speed-wise and just football player. So give me Lad to the Baltimore Ravens at 30.
Love it.
Conky.
Love that pick.
Stewie, you're on the clock. 31, the San Francisco 49ers, runners-up in the Super Bowl. They're at 31. Who you got?
This is my Xavier Worthy pick.
Oh,
Yes,
Ooh.
I think Brandon Ayuk is on his way out
Yep.
in San Francisco. I think he wants out. They don't want to pay him, so I think they flip that with a pick of Xavier Worthy.
That's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
And that falls right in your lap.
That leaves
another gadget for Shanahan to play with.
Absolutely. 32 in KC here.
Don't overthink it.
There's a lot of guys that are on the board that are staring at us, but I think that you get another weapon here for Patrick Mahomes. Look, there's guys like Graham Barton on the board, the Duke center, who's probably going to be off the board by now. Just an unsexy name that we didn't like here on this mock draft. He'll probably be in the first round. I still think that guys like Keon Coleman will be available. Xavier Leggett out of South Carolina, even Ricky Pearsall out of Florida will be staring at the Kansas City Chiefs in the face. If the board looked like this and Kansas City was picking, I would take Keon Coleman. I would take the wide receiver out of Florida State. Just too big game of a guy, man. I mean, you put him with Mahomes and give him the ability to learn in that offense. I just think he's another weapon that Mahomes can turn into a superstar. So those are our picks here for the mock draft here on the opening day of the NFL draft, which will be tonight at 7 o'clock. Remember those picks in this show daily brought to you by Katie's of New Orleans over on Iberville Street in Mid-City. Huge weekend down in New Orleans. The Zurich starts today. Jazz Fest starts today. The Pelicans are hosting a playoff game Saturday and Monday. It's going to be a wild weekend down in the city. So if you're down there, keep your head on a swivel because there will be Katie's everywhere. They'll have a tent and a booth at Jazz Fest. They're also going to be on the 18th green, a part of that tent and hospitality area over at the Zurich. So if you're in and around New Orleans this weekend, odds are you'll be treated and hosted by something that is affiliated with Katie's Restaurant. If you just want to go get the real thing, check them out there on Iberville Street. You can shop them online as well. You can see the menu, the great styles of pizza. They have the St. Louis style pizza. They have cold draft beer. Great service. katiesinmidcity.com. They got a sister restaurant that you can find on in Lakeview that it's online as well. All right, so Aaliyah Finnegan and her teammates are celebrating the first ever national championship in Baton Rouge. They had a great parade on campus yesterday. She's going to be in studio with us. She is a part of the G Squad, of course, Team Gordon. Remember us as well. If you want to be a part of the G Squad, you can. It's very easy. If you've been in an accident, remember Louisiana's Big Truck Lawyers, Get Gordon. Online, Get Gordon, get it done. And you can find them as well just by dialing them up, 225-888-8888. We'll be joined by Aaliyah Finnegan when we come back here. Chris Blair will be in the second hour, so we'll get to some LSU baseball coming up here shortly. But next, we parade. We second line for the ladies as the LSU gymnastics squad brings home the first ever national championship to Baton Rouge after a very successful run for the program. They finally crossed the line and able to bring the hardware back to campus. We'll talk to Aaliyah Finnegan, who had a huge part in that, next year on the Culotta Show. As always, live here from Click Here Digital.
Hey, Chino. Cut my headphones up, bro. Yeah, right there.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also, stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah.
Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, go roof. Roof, go roof.
Hey, Greg, roof up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at FourierAgency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with Fourier Insurance Agency, FourierAgency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. Fourier Agency.
Get Gordon. And get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done link with Big Four. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm a Gordon. I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Get Gordon. And get it done.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on.
Did you do it?
Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Family calls family. That saying resonates even more as your family grows. And we can't seem to stop growing. Meet the newest member of the Get Gordon family, Penny's cousin Rosie. Rosie already knows, the larger your family, the more people you have to lift you up during trying times. Just like at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we've grown to over 200 team members with over 50 local attorneys. So whether you pick Penny, employ Ellie, roll with Rosie, or get Gordon, we want to be your lawyers for life.
Your lawyers for life.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdown Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history when Gus Piazza took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdown Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
Now I'm focused on getting deposits. Evil in the way, now I'm just driving around it. They said I need a soul searching, I already found it. I unlocked my other side, now I'm sounding astounded. Drive by and let it ride like a whip in a Tesla. Pressure never fazed me, cause I'm bigger than pressure. I'm on my grind, bullshit, can't fit on my schedule. I'ma do what's best for me, you can keep all your lectures. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone to November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the block like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge her. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD. It's time.
All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show, as always, presented by our friends over at Gordon, getgordon.com, online, or you can find them just by dialing easy. You see the number on the hat, 225-888-8888. How cool was the run to watch down here in Baton Rouge? There's so many stories of people of how they were taking in the latest meet for LSU gymnastics as they finally crossed over. They got to the mountaintop. I mean, it's been such a successful run for the program over the last decade plus, but to see this group and Jay Clark finally bring home the hardware has been awesome to watch. And yesterday it was a celebration on campus for everybody in the parade, and you can see all the love that was out there. And Aaliyah Finnegan had such a humongous role on bringing home that national championship. She is a part of the G Squad, a part of the Gordon team, just like we are, but she is a brand new crowned national champ. So congratulations. That's got to sound awesome.
Thank you. Yes, never gets old.
It's been a whirlwind, I'd imagine, since it's all been down. Tell me about the blur that life has been.
Yes, and we have been so just overwhelmed with the amount of love and support from just, the Baton Rouge community and in Louisiana, and really just we're hearing it from everywhere around the world. We're putting LSU on the map.
Tell me about the run. What was the season like for you?
Absolutely. I think the season had so many, highs and a little bit of lows too. Like we weren't perfect all the way through, but it was definitely, a record-breaking season, and I'm just so grateful and honored to be a part of it all.
It felt like kind of the national championship run for the LSU women's team last year, right? Where you guys were contending all season long, but then there at the end, you really kind of caught fire, right? It seemed like the team that was going to take it home. At what point did you think, hey, we could turn this thing into a national championship run?
Absolutely. I think I never had a doubt in our team and the capability that we had, from all the way until the beginning of the season and all the way until, the final meet. And so we all were on the same page, and we were all, just gearing our boats and, trying to get there, clawing, doing whatever we can. And so ultimately, we made it to the final day. And the beauty of gymnastics is that, it all depends on that one day and what you do with that moment.
One person.
It takes a village by far. It definitely does take a village. And so I'm just so grateful that each and every one of the girls were able to, just get on the same page, and we're all able to move forward in the direction that we wanted to go.
So take me to that moment, what that was like. I mean, I don't know if we can understand pressure like that. I mean, really and truly. But, athletics, sports presents those moments to people. And, you either pass or fail. That's
the last one.
That's what
you studied for.
That's what the whole thing's built on, right? And the ones that pass the most are celebrated within their sport as clutch, or someone that, has that moment that they'll live by. What was that moment like for you?
It was so special. Just it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I was mostly just, excited. I was excited to represent my team and to represent LSU. And, we went through all of the events. They weren't perfect by any means, but, we kept chugging along. We take it one routine at a time, one event at a time. And ultimately, the minute and 30 seconds that you have in front of you, and those are things that you have to focus on. You kind of have to block out all the extra noise, if you will. And so I was just grateful that I was able to represent my team during that time.
Yeah. What has it been like with NIL? You mentioned you're a part of Gordon's team, and Gordon has been incredibly gracious through this NIL process, not just for LSU, but student athletes all over the state. What was that process like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was really excited to have the opportunity to work with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. And so, I was reaching out, doing a female campaign, which is awesome because, female sports are on the rise. If not, they're taking over. And so for him to be able to, shed some light on female sports has definitely been an incredible opportunity.
An athlete at LSU right now, what's it like? Because, from outside looking in, not just for, people who cover the program like we do, I think for even, fans of college athletics have to be looking at LSU saying, my God, they won another national championship. They're LSU baseball, women's basketball, and now you all taking home the crown. What's it like to be a student athlete right now on campus with so much notoriety, not just for your program, but for the entire athletic structure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm really just honored to be a student athlete during this time. There's a lot of great, athletes that I'm surrounded by every single day. And I think the beauty of it is that, we're all pushing each other because, we're all representing the same school, the same state. And so I think everybody is just constantly pushing each other, and everybody wants to win a national championship now. I know that's how our team felt, after last year.
Join the club.
Well, after women's basketball, I was like, I want one too. And so I think it's definitely cool that everyone, even though we're different sports, we're able to kind of rally around over this one thing and, get it done.
Talk about Coach Clark and his staff, and I guess what his direction and leadership meant to you guys, kind of taking all this back to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, he has been, just a rock through this entire season. And, seasons in the past, he reached out to me when I was 14 years old to get recruited. And so It's definitely, I've known him for a long time. And, he's definitely been with me every step of the different stages of my career. Him and, the assistant coaches as well they've always believed in us. They've always believed that we could do it. And so for all of us to be there, to be able to share, the first national championship that we get to bring home for LSU gymnastics, it's definitely a very, very special thing to share with them.
At what point do you realize you can actually, to a layperson, the balance beam seems like something that shouldn't even be an event. It's like, I can't put one foot in front of the other, but you're over there doing somersaults and backflips on it. At what point are you like, oh, I can do that? Because if you put any of us up there, we couldn't walk a straight line, straight to jail.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I started gymnastics at 2 years old. So it's definitely something that's second nature at this point. Been doing it a long time, but it's a cool event, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking at sometimes.
Perfect one to end on.
Not a lot of wiggle room, if you will.
What is it, 4 inches across?
4 inches and then 4 feet high. So
sign me up for the next 4.
Can I just add, you're a national champ, and you're the best in the world at what you do. What's the worst injury that you've had doing this?
So I have had 2 ankle surgeries.
I would imagine.
So the ankles aren't really in my favor, and it's just a lot of minor tweaks here and there. I'm really thankful that I've kind of had the better side of injuries, thankfully.
Sure.
And so
because it's a brutal sport, right? I mean, it's brutal.
Absolutely. It's very tolling on your body, and so that's why so many gymnasts, they retire. Maybe some of these athletes don't even get to college, and some of them, the peak age used to be 16 years old, and so thankfully that the age is going up. We're trying to figure out how we can make the longevity of it last. But I think I've definitely had, thankfully, the better side of the injuries. But it is very tolling on your body.
So you're a junior. So I mean,
yes.
obviously the plan, run this thing back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How's the cycle, the season work? How much of an off season is there?
Yeah, so I'm thankful that, typically during the summertime, there's a lot of, there's nothing required except for just, typical stay in shape here and there. But typically our summers are off season, and then we'll pick up back to going to practices and workouts in the fall. And then that goes to preseason, and then we start right in the beginning of January.
Nice. Well,
we all, I believe, LSU Gymnastics put out the video after the event, and obviously you were featured in it. We always tried to kind of get in the mindset of where you were in that moment, and you had everybody on pins and needles. We're all watching with bated breath, kind of, and then you see the video come out where you walk out and you chunk up the deuces to the camera. We were like, oh, if we'd have seen that, none of us would have been nervous. Were you that confident going in?
Well, most of the time it's typically fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
But that's half the battle, right? If you have confidence in yourself, then you confidence that you know what you're going to do, and it's, something that you get to be in control in, thankfully. And so, yeah, just having that confidence to go up there.
When did you realize that it was going to come down to you?
Well, I'm typically a score watcher, so I kind of like to see where we were ranked, I guess, in terms of, where we were heading to last season. We were down just by a few tenths, going into the last rotation, but there was never a doubt in my mind that, we weren't going to be able to accomplish what we wanted to do during that last rotation.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Man, I can imagine it's been a blur and been a whirlwind. Get some rest, and I know which finals is just right around the corner here.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. It's coming up.
Yeah, so best
just
of
write
luck.
your name on the test. I think you'll be good.
Right.
2024
no,
national
champ.
champ.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, that was our boy. He did 8 years.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Congratulations.
Yes, than't you so much. And if you guys aren't doing anything, May 4th, next weekend, Gordon McKernan is hosting Girls on the Run. So anyone out here listening as well, it's a great way to, get involved in the community. And it's it's empowering, the next generation of, young girls. And so there's been a lot of kind of action around it. The LSU gym team will be there supporting all of these young females next Saturday, May 4th. So if you want to get involved, that's a great way to, get involved in the community and get involved of the things going on right now.
And I think LSU softball is going to be there as well.
Yes, and a lot of, the Gordon female partners will be there as well, a lot of their female staff. And so, we've been making tutus. There's been a lot of, outreach programs this past few weeks. And so it'll be May 4th, I think about 8:30 a.m. And so it'll be 5K, but you don't have to run it. You can walk, you can cheer, you can do it. And it's not timed either, so don't worry if you have to make it during a certain time too. So, yeah, it'll be a really exciting event. We're excited to be there.
Girls on the Run, the 5K coming up. Gordon McKernan and his injury attorneys has partnered with Girls on the Run of South Louisiana for a campaign, as Aaliyah said, to empower the next generation of women that are coming up next. So remember, online, you can get everything at getgordon.com. And as always, we appreciate it and see you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back with more of the show. Come back with us. Jordy Culotta Show live here from Click Here Digital. We will talk to Chris Blair. He'll be through here. The Voice will stop by, talk, and set up the weekend with LSU and Auburn on the baseball diamond. So lots to get to as we will close out the second hour here on the show. Come back with us.
When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bounce a bat like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the po' boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah. Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, go roof. Roof, roof, go roof.
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up. Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True. Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at FourierAgency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with Fourier Insurance Agency, FourierAgency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. Fourier Agency.
Get Gordon. and get it done. Look, everybody know Gordon in a 225. And he done link with Big Foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm a Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run. Recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up.
All right, welcome back here, Jordy Culotta Show. Good stuff from Aaliyah Finnegan. We appreciate her stopping by, representing the G Squad, of course, the Gordon McKernan team. Thanks for Molly and the crew, but don't forget the Girls on the Run, which Gordon has partnered with Girls on the Run of South Louisiana. McKernan is uniting his female NIL partners, his female staff, and the Girls on the Run of Louisiana. The campaign will culminate with the Girls on the Run 5K, which is going down on May the 4th. As we will talk a little bit more and have opportunities for everybody to sign up. But get over to Gordon's website at gordon.com for the latest. It is good to see our guy back in studio. My man has been racking up the travel points, the hotel points, as LSU baseball has been on the road. The latest stop, LSU won their first series of the year and might get this thing going in the right direction here as postseason is on the horizon. But it is awesome to welcome back one of our favorites, the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair, who is back in Baton Rouge, getting ready for a series at the box, which you have not done in a couple of, it feels like months, but weeks. How are you?
I'm good, man. Yeah, it does seem like it's been a while since I've been in Baton Rouge, and certainly on the weekend, as I was joking with you guys coming in, it's that crazy computer in Birmingham that set up 4 of the first 6 on the road and then back-to-back on the road towards the back end of the season. It's just amazing how it just comes up that way.
The BCS era.
Yeah.
So I'm going down. I'm on a sales call yesterday. I'm coming back to the office, and I'm listening to Sirius XM 84 as I'm coming back. And out of nowhere, I hear your voice, and I'm like, checking my dial, and I'm like, are we good? And we're good. And the crew at lunch is playing, and they give compliments to the LSU Sports Radio Network, but they're playing you and Doug's call on Tanks' home run, which he shines off some dude's forehead.
Corey.
Out in the
Corey, man.
outfield. And, I mean, they're, like, cracking up at your call. They're cracking up at Doug. You know, Doug is funny afterwards. But, I mean, that was – have you ever seen anything like
No, I mean, you know, they always say in baseball, if you go to the park long enough, you're always going to see something new. I've never seen, you know, someone take it square off the forehead and look off the bat. Off the bat, it was a line drive. I mean, it was an absolute rope. I don't know the actual trajectory or angle. I know it was. I think Doug actually said it, but I didn't hear it because I was too concerned about
109 off the bat.
Yeah.
But it was straight at him. And my thought when it came off the bat was, I don't think it's going to stay. Like, I think it's going to go out of the park, like literally out of the park. And
it made it over there.
Then I see it hit something. My initial thought in real time was it hit the top of the rail, which is what I said. But then we have the closed circuit monitor in our booth, and I looked to my left. Of course, Doug does the.
Well, Doug's call in real time when he's like, "Your call is fantastic." I mean, it's the normal tanks, Dawn, and Doug in the back. Ooh.
And I look over, and he's got his hands on his head. And when I look over in the monitor, they show, because we're about that closed caption's probably 3 to 4 seconds in delay. And I see it, and it didn't come off the rail. It came off my guy's forehead, and then went out of the park. Like he didn't even get the benefit of knocking it down and picking up the ball. It was gone. And then I look back over as I'm trying to keep it on the rails, and bless his heart, like I don't know many a person on this planet that would be on their feet after taking one square to the forehead. I mean, he was out there a little woozy, he was starting to, kind of stammer a little bit, but he stayed on his feet. Then he wanted to put his hat back on. And then the funniest part was they show him on the Jumbotron. I mean, they showed the home run, as they always do. And he turns around, and you see him look at it, and then he does one of these, and he's laughing. And I'm like, I assume he's okay. But, all's well that ends well. I called him, actually, yesterday.
Nice.
And it was so funny. He answered the phone. He goes, hello. And I said, yeah, I'm looking for Corey. And he goes, you got him, you handsome devil. And he didn't know who I was. I mean, I called from the office, so it didn't have my name on it. So then I told him who I was, and he said, oh, hey. And then we talked, and I said, look, I just want to make sure, 12 hours after the incident, because sometimes a shot to the head the next day is when it really gets you. And he goes, no, I'm fine. He goes, absolutely no drain damage. And then he laughed. And so I thought, man, this guy's perfect. So anyway, he appeared to be okay yesterday. And we are working. I invited him to come up and join us and retell that harrowing story of the 108 mile an hour home run coming right at you.
I mean, he said the same exact thing you did. To lead it off. I mean, he was like, thing was coming in on a rope. I mean, like,
there was no other way to describe it.
And you got to be feeling confident.
Glove was up.
We're good. We're good. And just, I mean, it was a car wash to the face.
Well, if you've played golf, when you don't get a clean hit, but you get a solid hit, and you get the trajectory as it's going, and it starts to drop. And I think because it wasn't coming down,
right,
it was at him.
Yeah, you're kind of
that you're like, okay, I think this is where the glove needs to be, but it wasn't quite where it needed to be. And bless his heart, he tells the story about it. And I found out later because number one, on the phone call, he told me that's where they sit. They love sitting there. His wife then reached out to me via social media and said, hey, we're at every game, and that's where we are, and just want to let you know he is okay. So he's been waiting to get a home run ball for all these years.
That's unreal.
It's 6-0, bottom of the 8th against Nichols.
He's still there.
Everybody's emptied the park. Like, all it has to do is hit the bleachers, and he can walk over and get it, right? I mean, he's going to get his home run ball. But it comes right at him at 108 miles an hour. Like, the bad luck of all of that is amazing. But you wouldn't have found a better guy in better spirits than Corey. So shout out to Corey. I mean,
Seville Jr. straight from an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, it is.
I told him, I said, dude, staying on your feet is, I don't even know how to impress upon you how that blew me away. That you didn't even take a seat, because after Jared Jones came up to bat, they showed him out there, and he was still standing.
I mean, Bo Davis. LSU needs defensive tackles. See how much eligibility he's got left. He doesn't even need a helmet.
My favorite line, though, and I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and there's a lot of sayings that I heard as a kid that sometimes I pull out, that a lot of people who aren't from that neck of the woods don't know what I'm talking about. But they asked him how long he'd been a Tiger fan, and he said, how long is a string? And that's a new one on me. I don't quite know what that means, but I haven't heard that one before. But,
by the pins on his hat, it looks like he's been one since World War I. I mean, like,
Tanks took his helmet off.
He looked like he and Huey Long.
No, the only question I have
together.
is I saw the hat with all the pins, which I don't know that the hat would have done anything but be more damage, because it would have driven those metal pins into his head.
I think he'd have worn it like a badge of honor.
But I don't know if anybody was out there or saw it better than I did. Did he have the hat on, and then as he rose, like as a catcher, wanted to get rid of all distractions? Because the hat wasn't on when it plunked him in the head, right?
No, it was.
It was?
knocked
So it knocked the hat off?
No, I mean, and really and truly, thank God it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it knocked the head off.
I mean,
yeah, all I saw was the ball flying out of the over the railing. But
yeah, that was after it hit the head and all them pins.
You got to give Corey at least half a home run in the stat sheet.
I just, I told him we're trying to get him up into the booth. Like I said, hopefully Friday, because he said, hey, we're going to be there. We're going to be there all weekend because that's where we are every time the Tigers play. So hopefully going to bring him up there. And if I see Tommy today while I'm over at the stadium, I'll say, bro, whatever you do, first or second inning, can you get one out of here?
Just like
curtain call, yeah.
Corey, heads up, bro.
And the good news
we got to
is,
get him a glove. I thought Doug was spot on. He was my boy at Marucci's.
We're gonna give him some gear to keep him protected. When he comes to games.
It's going to turn out to be great for him.
Perfect.
But he'll feel comfortable in our booth because I'll let him know there's a screen there. There's none jumping in the windows.
Right. Been here a long time. What do you think? I mean, can this team catch some heat?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. One of the things I'm sure Doug's told you when he's been on with you before, I mean, he really feels like, and has said it on record for weeks now, that Paxton Kling, because of what he means defensively, because you really need him in there. You don't have anybody defensively, I think, that can do what he does in center field. And as we all know in the game of baseball, certainly in high major college baseball, your center fielder defensively, you got to have a good one. So Doug's always said, if Paxton can start to get going offensively, just get his on-base percentage up there, because that's really what LSU's lack. It's not a lack of power. I mean, Todd Politz in our office put it out the other day. I mean, when you look at the number of home runs this year, how many of them have been solo home runs because there's nobody on base? And again, not downgrading home runs, but you want 2-run homers and 3-run homers. And Paxton, one of those guys that can impact that, because he does have power, but it's more important about getting him on and setting the table. And he's played very well of late. He had 3 doubles and 3 RBI in the series against Missouri, including the one that tied the game in Game 3 that I think gave the momentum to win that series. So I think that's a good sign. Ashton Larson, to me, he's going to be a great one at LSU. And, he's become a real threat to any pitching staff when he comes to the plate. And, it's interesting because Jay and I talked Monday night that his hitting in SEC, but he's got 3 home runs, all 3 are in SEC play. His batting average is right equal with season and SEC play, so there's no dip there. And what he's done in right field, I mean, he's made some really solid plays that you don't really remember, but, I mean, he's just been solid. So, I mean, I think him coming into his own, you know what Stephen Milam's given you so far in his freshman year. I think Alex Milazzo is a key here. I think when Alex is in the lineup, this team plays better, and I don't know, I mean, not taking away anything from his baseball play, it's just I think his presence, his leadership on the diamond, I think is important. And I'd be surprised if you don't see him as catcher pretty much the rest of the regular season.
Yeah.
And I don't know that. That's not inside info. I just think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, very long-winded, I mean, the math is getting tight with the number of games you have available, but you do have 3 of your last 4 in conference play at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, the numbers are there to finish, I think, strong enough in this league and this year with the power ratings the way they are that, you won't be hosting, but I think you got a chance to get to the postseason. But right now, step 1 is making sure you get to Hoover, because Hoover, again, is going to be important that you possibly may need a couple of wins there to secure an NCAA berth. And right now, the Tigers are fighting to get into that, first 12 slots. Because if you look at the SEC, you've got really 4 teams who I think, really 3, but let's say 4 overall that are going to battle it out over these last several weekends to see who wins the SEC. I think 5 through 14 is anybody's game. I mean, you got a lot of teams that are teetering on 500, above 500 or under 500 that, you get 3 wins this weekend, depending on what happens other places. Mm-hmm. LSU may make a major jump to the middle of the pack. That's how important each game is, and it's something that Jay hasn't shied away from. I asked him Monday, and he said, no, these guys are smart. They know math, and we've told them this is our record. These are the number of games remaining. Like, every game is crucial. Absolute crucial, yeah.
Brian Kelly right now on the NFL Network.
Yeah.
As today should be a pretty big celebration of LSU football
Yep.
for these guys that will be moving on. What is usually kind of this day mean inside of the office? Can you feel that today is?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a big. I mean, first of all, we're told, Scott Woodward tells us, and we've got a year-end staff, everybody next week, and one of the things he constantly says is, we are here. Everything you do when you come to work is to promote our student athletes. Put them in a position to win, put them in a position not only on the fields, but, from a social standpoint, from a PR standpoint, and obviously NIL being what it is. So it's a big day for everybody at LSU because it is a huge job well done. I mean, the people who have impacted Jaden Daniels and Malik and Brian and the rest that over the next couple of days may hear their name called, I mean, that's what they were supposed to do, from the football coaches to the PR staff to the social media to everybody. And so it's a big day because it's, like I said, people have done what our mission has been accomplished with these young men in the same way that it was accomplished with, LSU gymnastics and LSU baseball last year and LSU women's basketball last year. So it's another one of those deals. And then it's a great PR piece for the university and the athletic department, for all of our teams who recruit, for students who are interested in going to college. I mean, LSU's going to be all over the thing tonight in Detroit. So, and as you said, Coach Kelly starting it off today with an interview.
We were just talking to Aaliyah Finnegan, who was in here, and another national champ. At LSU. I mean, this is. You've done this, for a while. You've seen and been around college campuses. How unique is the situation?
It's very unique,
at LSU right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point because and sometimes I try to tell fans this, and I have to remind myself of this. So I'm lucky enough that over the years, I've been able to get to know a lot of people who've helped me along the way, who I count on, sometimes for advice, who work at other universities. Some who've worked for me and now work at universities, some that were already there before I was ever dreamed of being at LSU.
How long is a string?
And for as long as a string. And they haven't won a title. I mean, there are schools that in the major visible sports have not won a title. I've got friends who've been calling games at the high major level for 30 plus years. They don't have a national title. So I'm not saying we get spoiled by it. I mean, the anticipation and the expectation is that LSU should compete for championships. And again, that's one of the charges that Scott gives all of us every day. That's what we're here to do. One of the things we're here to do. But to win it at the clip that this school is winning it and has been winning it, I mean, you really need to just Google, pick a school and Google how many national championships and see if they have any, and if they have several, when was the last one? And it might open your eyes that what LSU has been doing is pretty amazing.
It is, man. I mean, to have Jay Clark and the gymnastics team winning the whole thing. I mean,
we talk about big moments in sports and how they would make a great Hollywood movie. This year, to me, I mean, I do the Kent Lowe show every week, the podcast with the legend Kent Lowe. And we've had Jay on. We had Ashley on really just 2 weeks ago. And we talk about gymnastics as the season goes on. But when you look at that season and really go back to last year with the injuries and the struggles they had, and then the struggles they had early on beam in some early matches where that was the difference in winning and losing, and then to have it all come to Fort Worth on the line for a national title, and you got to go out and execute on that tiny beam, which is Jay said is maybe the width of this. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. We were in the little phone booth they had us working out of in Missouri. We had it on in the screen on Saturday to make sure we didn't miss it because it was exciting. So congratulations to them. We were at the Capitol yesterday, and they honored the Tiger girls who won a national championship. And, again, LSU gymnastics, 52nd national title for LSU is pretty impressive.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday series with LSU Auburn in baseball over at the Box. That will be Chris Blair, Doug Thompson, and the LSU Sports Radio Network on the call.
And Corey.
And Corey.
Hopefully.
And Corey.
Sounds like you might need a hot mic because this man's full.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll go ahead and prepare everybody. We'll actually be on the radio and on SEC Network Plus, so they'll have to deal with us on both in all mediums.
Yes,
my favorite. I love those.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
Yeah, man, it's good to be back. Good to be in Baton Rouge on a Thursday.
I bet. I bet. Chris Blair, as he comes down the stretch here of the LSU baseball regular season, spending a couple of moments here with us before a 3-game set that begins tomorrow night at the Box as War Eagle is in town here with LSU baseball. Remember our friends over at Go Roof bring you our show every day, GEAUX, roof.com, residential or commercial roofing services, maintenance, or a brand new roof. Roof's up with our friends over at Go Roof. Have a great Thursday. We will be back with you tomorrow to close out the week as LSU will get you set for that LSU Auburn series in baseball. And Shea Dixon will be here wrapping up the week in recruiting. For Chris Blair, for Aaliyah Finnegan, and everybody here on staff, everybody have a great Thursday. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. It's the hottest show around, we ain't got to flex. Call up G, we get it done, we earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in, where they going next. Throw up the L's, now we lit, band playing neck. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live, mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time, yeah.